Louisiana beer reviews. We're looking at Genesee Specialty Cream Ale, proudly brewed since 1878. Well, that's when Genesee got started. 1960 for the cream ale. This is a special edition, a revisit. I did this, well, I bought it on a road trip a few years ago, and we did a duo review, a friend of mine and myself. And then the last time I saw it in Louisiana was 2014 when they brought bottled 6-packs to Dorgnac's, and then 6 months later it was gone. Thank you, Mike Paw Peters, for alerting me to that. Then it was gone. So I was at Martin Wine Cellar in April 2021, and I'm looking around, and I said, Genesee Cream Ale, they're trying it again. Now, is it going to make it? I don't know. I mean, they're not going to give it any advertising attention, okay? So you're not going to see any promotion for it. It's going to have to make it on its own. I don't think it's going to be around. They tried the Lord Chesterfield Ale from Yuengling. That was another one that lasted about 6 months here. Now, Yuengling does well, but it's just ale has a slightly different flavor, and people who drink Yuengling and Genesee won't drink it. Well, we don't get any Genesee products here. Not Genesee branded products. We do get some Genesee produced products, but not under their name. Okay, MO space 10 space 1311:45. You know, I'll just get a Rosetta Stone and try to interpret that. 5.1% alcohol, no IBUs listed. Originalcreamale.com, I'll have to look that up. I was looking at the Genesee website, they didn't say much about it. A cream ale is sort of a lager ale hybrid, similar to like a Kolsch in Germany, I guess. Pabst makes one that nobody can get. Ballantine, one of the oldest beers in America. Nice crackle. I don't know of any others from major producers like these. There is Little Kings that sometimes you can find and sometimes you can't. Sometimes it's produced, sometimes it isn't. Depends who's bought it out. I never cared for that one. It had like a strange metallic flavor, like shaved metal shavings. Anyway, first time I bought Genesee Cream Ale, it was in Tallahassee, Florida at ABC Fine Wine and Liquor. It was in this bottle. Showing medals it had won. It did win real medals. Genesee Brewery in Rochester, New York. Then they updated the labeling as kind of a throwback, and I bought this on a road trip, Genesee Cream Ale. '402, 1937. I guess that's the 400. Well, no, I don't think. There's no 400 day. I don't know. I don't know what this is. I don't care. All right, so they were trying to make it look like the 1960 label. 24-ounce can. I don't remember where I bought this. Somewhere. It could have been anywhere east of the Mississippi, not counting Louisiana. And I bought the 6-pack here in Louisiana in 2014. Let's see. This. All right. And now, there's also a real hard to find dry hopped version. Now, when we went to the Genesee Brewery in 2016, they had the 12 horse ale. Genesee 12 horse ale on draft. And I loved it, and but we were drinking so much that day. But they said, we tried selling it in bottles and cans around here, but it would always sit on the shelf and go expired, and we just offered at the the brewery, and then they said, I saw a news report on one of these beer hangout groups that they were trying to bring it back for shelf sales, but I guess 12 horse isn't too popular. All right, clear, golden, a little more gold than a regular American beer. This is a gold similar to the Heileman's Special Export. Another one that Pabst makes sure you can't get. Seen it in bottles too, but I didn't buy the bottles. All right. There was a light version too in a different label. All right. Aroma. Yeah, corn. Like corn grits. I had grits this morning. And just like fermented grain taste. There's a slight fruitiness, like mango puree. But I mean, it's slight. It's not like a predominant thing. Medium body, crisp finish. Yeah, that's what they're designed to be, a ale lager hybrid, but sort of like a little bit stronger than their regular lager and a little bit more flavor than their regular lager, but not. It's not going to have more pronounced and bold flavors like Timothy Taylor Landlord, something like that from merry old England. It's a middle ground. Do we get any widely available things like this? I guess the Green Label Foster's Premium Ale would be it, which Mathern still has for $1.99, a 25.4 ounce can. Formerly titled Foster's Special Bitters. That's what it's called, Foster's Special Bitter. Little bit of a creamy mouthfeel, like very thin cream of wheat. And I don't think there's any wheat in this. And like I said, crisp finish, relatively crisp finish. Cyclops scale, sugar cubes, 2 out of 5 sugar cubes. It's not a sweet beer. Hop cones, 2 out of 5 hop cones. It's got a little bit of more hop action. If you live in Louisiana, I would not get too excited because it's the kind of thing that you might see for a month and never see again for 10 years. So it was a 7-year gap between the last time we saw it, which is not a promising thing. Would Genesee sell here? I mean, I don't know. They tried selling hams, and that went over like a lead Zeppelin, it just tanked. And of course they didn't promote it. So people in Louisiana are kind of a Bud Light. It's kind of a Bud Light state. So if it's anything in a big suitcase and they never heard of it, they're going to think, I ain't buying that. And they'll say, I know what they're thinking. That's some kind of off-brand. Off-brand, meaning they're never going to buy it. And it might be cheap, but they ain't buying it. They're not going to take it out and look and say, oh, look. Well, it's going to say, it's not going to say Miller Brewing, right? It's going to use an alias, the Hams Brewing Company. Yeah. In Genesee, same thing. They just don't, do it. when I hear the prices people quote me for this, they'll say I live in New York or I live in Virginia and I get it 30 packs for $15.99. Well, yeah, I would buy it. Obviously, I'm not gonna go tracking it down. I saw a single, I bought it. Okay, same thing. 7 years ago, I bought the 6-pack. But I like it. It's not great. It's not like a great beer. But it doesn't have to be to get a high score, because there's a lot of very enjoyable lagers and specialty ales like this that are not great, but they're greatly enjoyable. Clean, refreshing. Like I said, it has a little mango chutney, a little even Duncan Hines cream cheese icing thing going, just a little bit of it, just a touch, but it does have that, which is unusual. Craft beer people are going to think, it's nothing to it. Bosh, it's macro, it's like regional macro, really. And then your Busch Light, Bud Light drinkers are going to, I know what they're going to say. Oh, it's so strong, it's so bitter. They always say that, it's so bitter. And then I want to jump in like a beer counselor. It's not bitter, man. It's only 12 IBUs. Let's talk about bitterness units. And they're like, see these ribs that I'm barbecuing and I'm grilling and this Bud Light I'm drinking? Don't come over here to me with all that beer expert weirdo lecturing. Get out of my face, and get out of my face immediately. So I know, I know how to not approach people with that, because I have to remember that most everybody on this planet don't care. So score. It's for a regular old beer that apparently people can get literally for $15 or $16 a 30-pack. It's way better than that. So I would buy it. 5.1% alcohol. It has, I don't know, the calories is probably 160 per 12 ounce. The IBUs are low. It's very enjoyable. It's well made. It's balanced. Genesee Brewing can put some atrocities out onto the market, like Dog Bite 10%, high gravity lager. We're not going to talk about that, but which did show up in Louisiana, I think, unfortunately. This is sort of a difficult beer to review because it isn't sold in most places. I usually only find it on road trips, and let's say once a decade I can get it here. That's a good one, but you know you ain't seeing that. All right, so the cut and dry, I think it scores around, it's about 93. 9.3 out of 10. A most excellent product. It has a sort of quaint, unusual flavor thing going. It's not really exotic. It's more regular than irregular, but there is a little irregularity about it, which adds some little cachet to it. Just goes to show you, companies like this, Genesee Brewing of Rochester, New York, can make some better than average products and make some mass-produced products that have some character. Pabst was doing this with McSorley's. I remember 15 years ago, the pale ale and the dark lager, but probably it was a little bit too high quality, so the Pabst people ain't buying this, and I never saw it again. And just like the Pabst made the Ballantine India Pale Ale, an awesome beer. Oh, it was so good. I mean, it was contract made, but Pabst developed the idea for it, but then, all right. And the Burton, Valentine Burton. All right. Anyway, so enough of that Sturm and Drang. Like, oh, I'm so mad, I can't get this stuff. Forget that. There's too many beers on the market to be nostalgic and depressed about it. It doesn't really matter. Genesee Cream Ale, it exists some places and then some places for only a week. It is a most excellent beer. I don't actually understand that company that well. Their marketing is similar to Pabst in the sense that it's strange. But anyway, we're consumers. We're reviewing it. We're not producing it. So, Les Bon Temps Relais, a most excellent product. And I'm going to end this review by saying, y'all go to Rochester, New York, which I've been to, and tour their. They don't give tours of the brewery, but you can tour the little one-room pilot brewery and see a little bit, and then leave and buy some T-shirts and cups and glasses and coasters.